At first glance, Araras looks like a place built for sunlight. The roads are red dirt, the hills are open, cattle move through fields under a hard blue sky. Homes sit low against the heat of central Brazil, where the day begins bright and stays bright for hours. But in this village, sunlight is not just weather. For some families here, it is the thing that can slowly destroy the skin, damage the eyes, and turn childhood into a careful negotiation with daylight. The danger does not arrive suddenly. It does not make a sound. It comes through windows, across yards, over fields, and down narrow roads where people have worked for generations. And the most frightening part is that the story does not begin with the sun. It begins inside the body. Araras is a small rural community in the municipality of Faina in the state of Goias in central Brazil. It is a farming place shaped by heat, land, family, and distance. For many people, life here has always meant outdoor work, planting, harvesting, tending animals, walking between homes, moving through a landscape where shade is limited and the day is long. But Araras became known far beyond its size because of a rare inherited disorder called Xeroderma Pigmentosum, often shortened to XP. XP is not a curse. It is not contagious. It is not caused by the sun alone. It is a genetic condition that weakens the body's ability to repair damage caused by ultraviolet radiation. Every person's skin cells are struck by UV light. In most people, the body repairs much of that damage before it becomes dangerous. In people with XP, that repair system is impaired. Damage accumulates. The skin can burn easily. Spots and lesions can appear early. The risk of skin cancer rises sharply, often beginning at ages when most children are still learning how to ride a bike. In Araras, that biological reality became a community reality. Reports from the village have described around 20 dozen people living with XP in a population of roughly 800 to 1,000. The exact number has shifted over time, but the pattern is clear. This small place has had an unusually high concentration of people with the condition. And because the disease is visible, the world often tells the story in cruel language. Faces melting, people mutated, a village cursed by the sun. But those phrases hide what is really happening. This is a story about DNA repair, about inherited risk, about families that did not know what they were carrying, about a village where isolation made a rare disorder appear again and again. To understand why, you have to leave the hospital room and return to the road. Araras sits in a rural part of Goiás, away from the scale and speed of Brazil's major cities. In communities like this, generations can remain close. Families marry within a small local network. People share ancestry, not because of anything strange, but because distance, economics, and rural life keep family lines connected. That matters because XP is usually inherited in a recessive pattern. A person can carry a harmful mutation without having the disease. If two carriers have a child together, that child can inherit two altered copies and develop the condition. In a large mobile population, two carriers of the same rare mutation may never meet. In a small, isolated community, the odds change. A mutation that entered through early family lines can remain mostly invisible for generations. Then, through repeated marriages within the same genetic pool, it can surface in children, cousins, neighbors, and whole branches of families. That is the hidden architecture of Araras. Not a single disaster, not poison in the water, not radiation from the soil. A genetic cluster. And the tragedy is that the place where this cluster appeared is also a place where avoiding the sun is almost impossible. In richer settings, XP can be managed with strict protection, UV-blocking clothing, high-grade sunscreen, covered windows, protected transport, frequent skin checks, and early removal of tumors. People may reorganize their lives around nighttime, indoor routines, and constant medical monitoring. But Araras is a farming community. The sun is not just above people. It is part of the economy. It is part of labor. It is part of getting from one place to another. A child walking to school, a farmer crossing a field, a man tending cattle, a family waiting outside a clinic, all of it can become exposure. For children with XP, the world can become smaller very quickly. A bicycle ride needs shade, a school day needs protection, a simple trip outside requires clothing, hats, sunscreen, and planning. The face, neck, hands, and eyes, the parts of the body most exposed to light, become the places where the disease leaves its mark. Some people in Araras have undergone many surgeries to remove tumors. Some have lived with severe facial damage. Some have needed reconstructive procedures. Some have lost parts of the life they might have had, not because the condition was untreatable in every sense, but because protection and diagnosis did not always come early enough. And that delay is one of the quietest horrors in the story. For years, people with symptoms did not always know what they had. Skin changes could be mistaken for other problems. Families could watch marks grow worse without understanding that every day in the sun was adding injury at a cellular level. In a city with specialist care, the pattern might be recognized sooner. In an isolated rural place, the disease could remain unnamed while the damage continued. By the time XP became widely recognized in Araras, the condition had already shaped lives. And yet, the people of the village were not passive characters in a tragedy. Families adapted. Teachers and local advocates pushed for awareness. Doctors and researchers examined the cluster. Protective habits spread. The story moved from rumor towards science. That scientific work brought one of the most important revelations. The high number of XP cases in Araras was linked not to a vague idea of mutation in the sensational sense, but to specific inherited changes associated with a DNA repair pathway. In particular, the community has been studied for a variant form of XP involving the POLH gene, connected to the body's response to UV-related DNA damage. The implication is bigger than one village. A mutation can travel through ancestry quietly. It can cross oceans and family histories. It can disappear into ordinary life when carried by healthy people. Then, in the right demographic conditions, isolation, shared ancestry, limited migration, it can become visible in the bodies of children born generations later. That is what makes Araras so powerful as a documentary story. It is not the shock of the rare. It is the way the rare becomes ordinary for one place. For most of the world, the sun is a symbol of health, work, warmth, and childhood. In Araras, for families affected by XP, it becomes a force that has to be measured. How long outside? What time of day? Is there shade? Is the skin covered? Can the family afford protection? Can they reach medical care soon enough? These are not dramatic questions invented for a film. They are daily questions, practical questions, exhausting questions, and they reveal something many viewers may never think about. A genetic disease is not only biology, it is also geography, it is income, it is transportation, it is education, it is whether a doctor recognizes a rare condition before the damage becomes permanent. The late twist in the story is that Araras was never truly mysterious. The village was never cursed. The people were not born into some supernatural landscape. They were born into a place where a rare inherited risk met an unforgiving environment. The sun did not create the mutation, but it exposed its consequences. And in that distinction is the real meaning of the story.
Araras shows how a small village can carry a hidden biological history for generations. It shows how poverty can make a medical condition more dangerous. It shows how the ordinary world, a road, a field, a schoolyard, a morning sky, can become threatening when the body cannot defend itself in the usual way. But it also shows something else. Once a condition is understood, the story can change. Protection can begin earlier. Families can be informed. Children can be watched more closely. Tumors can be treated sooner. Genetic counseling can help people understand risks that previous generations never had the language to describe. The village where sunlight became dangerous is not just a place of suffering, it is a warning about what happens when rare disease meets isolation. And it is a reminder that sometimes the most frightening danger is not hidden in darkness. Sometimes it is everywhere. Bright, ordinary, and falling from the sky.